Backstories Podcast.
All right, so are you ready to dive deep into the world of Busta Rhymes?
Always ready for Busta.
I figured, all right, so we're going way beyond just the hits today. You know what I'm saying?
Deeper than the surface.
Exactly. Using his Wikipedia page as like our roadmap for this journey.
Sounds like a plan.
So we really want to understand what makes him such a unique and influential force in hip hop.
For sure, a legend.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, the guy's been nominated for 12 Grammys. 12 Grammys, but hasn't won any yet.
Really?
Can you believe that?
That's wild. I mean, it really makes you think, huh?
Yeah, it makes you wonder who else is in that club. You know, like,
Right, like who else is up there with all those nominations but no wins yet?
Yeah, exactly. But that's a deep dive for another day.
Definitely a whole other episode right there.
So what's so fascinating to me is that he's achieved this like legendary status, even without that golden gramophone, you know?
Yeah, it's true. There's a depth to Busta that goes beyond just like the awards and accolades.
Totally. And you see that wild energy on stage, and then you like read about him, and you learn that off stage he's known for being super insightful and philosophical.
Yeah, he's got that balance, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like, are there two Busta Rhymes?
Like a duality.
Right. So, okay, enough mystery. Let's start from the beginning. Where was Busta born and raised? Fill us in.
All right, so Busta Rhymes, born Trevor George Smith Jr., came into the world in Brooklyn.
Okay, Brooklyn represent.
But his family moved to Long Island when he was around 12.
Got it. So that New York upbringing is absolutely key to his sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The energy, the grit, the lyrical dexterity, like it all comes from that New York environment.
And I heard he went to the same high school as Biggie and Jay-Z.
Yeah, George Westinghouse Career and Technical Education High School in Brooklyn.
Wow. So now I know they weren't all like roaming the halls at the same time.
Different years, different vibes.
But can you imagine that school's yearbook?
Talk about a hip-hop legacy right there.
Seriously, but there's another twist to the story, right?
There's always another layer with Busta.
Didn't he spend some time across the pond?
Absolutely. He actually spent some of his childhood in the UK, went to school there, even honed his breakdancing skills in clubs.
No way. So we're talking like a young Busta.
Young Busta in the UK.
Rocking those moves in a whole different scene.
It's crazy to think about, right?
It makes you wonder how those experiences might have shaped his artistry later on, you know?
Yeah, like what did he pick up? What did he see?
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit to 1986.
86, all right.
This is where Leaders of the New School enters the picture.
The beginning of an era.
Tell me about that crew, who was in it, and what was their vibe?
All right, so you've got Busta Rhymes, obviously, and another rapper using the stage name Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown, okay.
No relation to the Peanuts gang, just to be clear.
Yeah, I had to make sure.
And their style was really innovative for the time, you know, super energetic with these intricate rhyme schemes that were almost tongue-twisting.
Like they were really pushing the boundaries of what hip-hop could sound like.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They were ahead of their time.
And didn't they get a major boost from being featured on a Tribe Called Quest track?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Scenario, one of the most iconic hip-hop songs of all time.
Such a classic.
It's got this incredible energy, and everyone on that track brought their A-game.
Everyone came with it.
And the way Busta bursts onto the track with that roar like a Dungeon Dragon lion, I mean, it's
the moment everyone remembers.
instant classic.
So they're on top of the world, but then things take a bit of a turn.
Yeah, the music industry is unpredictable.
What happened with the group?
Well, unfortunately, Leaders of the New School broke up, and get this, it happened on the set of Yo, MTV Raps.
No way on Yo. MTV Raps.
Talk about a dramatic exit, right?
That's crazy. So what happened next?
Well, Busta was determined to provide for his family, so he decided to focus on solo work and guest appearances.
Smart move.
It was a smart move because it allowed him to really hone his craft and develop his own unique voice, you know?
Yeah, focus on his own thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and that dedication like really paid off, you know?
Yeah.
In 1996, Busta dropped his solo debut album, The Coming.
And boom, he explodes onto the scene.
What a debut!
I mean, that single, Woo-Ha, Got You All in Check, was everywhere.
You know what?
Do you remember where you first heard it?
I feel like I was at a party.
I was at a party and like the place went nuts.
It's impossible to forget that beat, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The album went platinum and Busta earned his first Grammy nomination. It was just a whole new level of energy and lyrical complexity, really solidifying his unique style.
Yeah, he just kept that momentum going, right?
Oh, absolutely.
He followed up with When Disaster Strikes.
Yeah.
in 97.
Yep.
And then Extinction Level Event.
Yeah.
The Final World Front in 98. I mean, those albums were like sonic adventures.
Yeah, they had these apocalyptic themes and like the intricate wordplay it was.
He wasn't just rapping, he's creating these whole worlds with his music.
World building through music.
And you get the sense that he's really pushing himself creatively, exploring new sounds and just like pushing the boundaries of what hip-hop can be.
Always innovating.
And then in 2000, he releases Anarchy, his last album with Elektra Records. And it's a bit of a turning point in his career.
A transitional phase for sure.
Yeah, I feel like Anarchy is often overlooked.
It's kind of like a hidden gem in his discography, right?
It's raw,
Yeah.
it's experimental.
Oh.
It just shows that Busta isn't afraid to take risks.
Not afraid to try new things.
Then comes the move to J Records and the release of Genesis in 2001. Talk about a power move.
Yeah.
This album is packed with collaborations.
So many features.
Some of the biggest names in music. Mary J. Blige, P. Diddy, Kellis.
He was working with everyone.
And it's interesting because you really start to see his influence expanding, you know?
Branching out.
Yeah. And he's working with artists from different genres, which is cool.
It shows his versatility, his willingness to experiment.
And he just keeps hitting us with these bangers.
Hit after hit.
It Ain't Safe No More
Oh.
in 2002. Followed by The Big Bang in 2006, which was his first #1 album, right?
That's right. His first time topping the charts.
That's a huge accomplishment, especially considering that The Big Bang had a different vibe compared to his earlier work, like it was.
Yeah, it had more mainstream appeal, but it still retained his signature energy and lyrical prowess.
Yeah, totally. Do you think that shift in sound contributed to its commercial success?
It's an interesting question, for sure. I think it speaks to Busta's evolution as an artist, you know. The Big Bang showed that he could achieve commercial success without compromising his artistic integrity.
Totally. And then in 2009, we get Back on My BS, which sparked some controversy with the song Arab Money.
Yeah, Arab Money definitely got people talking.
Now, without taking sides here, it's important to understand the context. The song was actually banned in the UAE.
Wow, banned.
Yeah, for lyrics that were considered offensive.
I see.
And it ignited this whole debate among DJs there, you know, with some refusing to play it, while others defended it as a cultural misunderstanding.
It became a whole thing.
Busta himself even issued an apology explaining that the song was never intended to be disrespectful. It really highlights those complexities of like language, cultural interpretation, artistic expression.
Definitely a learning moment for a lot of people.
So after Back on My BS,
Yeah.
Busta makes another big move.
Always on the move.
Signs with Cash Money Records in 2011
Cash Money.
and releases Year the Dragon in 2012.
All right.
Now this is where things get interesting from a business perspective.
Oh, really? How so?
Busta chose to release Year the Dragon for free on Google Play,
What, for free?
which was a pretty groundbreaking move at the time. You know,
Yeah.
it showed that he was thinking outside the box, embracing new technologies and distribution models.
Totally ahead of the curve.
Yeah, it was a way to connect directly with his fans and bypass the traditional music industry gatekeepers.
Cutting out the middleman.
And then there's a bit of a gap before his next studio album,
A little break.
Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God, which finally dropped in 2020.
8 years later.
That's 8 years between albums. Yeah. What was he up to during that time?
Well, Busta was anything but idle. You know, he was collaborating with tons of artists, from Mariah Carey to Santana.
Wow, that's quite a range.
He appeared in movies and TV shows, even popped up on The Masked Singer, dressed as a dragon.
Wait, hold up. The Masked Singer.
Yeah, The Masked Singer.
Dressed as a dragon? No way.
Can you imagine?
That's so Busta. I bet he brought the house down.
Oh, he absolutely did. He's a natural entertainer, whether he's on stage in the studio or on screen.
For sure, but during those years, he was also focusing on his family, his businesses, and his philanthropy.
Giving back to the community.
He even opened a vegan restaurant.
Wait, what, a vegan restaurant? Yeah, a vegan restaurant. It's called Busta Rhymes Island Grill, actually.
Wow, so he's a man of many talents and passions, that's for sure. And it all comes full circle with his latest album, Blockbuster, released just this year.
It feels like a victory lap, you know?
Yeah, and it's not just new music.
Yeah.
But Busta's legacy is being celebrated in all these different ways. He's finally getting those flowers.
He's getting the recognition he deserves, for sure. And, I mean, think about it. Busta's one of the most Grammy-nominated artists who hasn't won yet. That says something.
It really does. It's a testament to his impact, you know, his influence, his staying power.
And About.com ranked him among the 50 greatest MCs of our time.
Wow.
And MTV called him one of hip-hop's greatest visual artists.
Yeah, his music videos are on another level.
They're like mini movies, right?
Full of these wild visuals and intricate choreography.
It's spectacle.
He really pushed the boundaries of what a music video could be.
And it's not just spectacle, though. There's a real artistry to his visual work.
For sure.
He understands how to create a world that complements his music, that enhances the storytelling, you know?
Yeah, like he's creating a complete sensory experience.
Exactly. And his influence on other artists is undeniable. I mean, everyone from Eminem to Kendrick Lamar to Tyler, the Creator, has cited him as an inspiration.
It's true. And I've even heard stories about how Busta would mentor younger artists, giving them advice and encouragement.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it just speaks to his generosity and his commitment to the next generation of hip-hop.
And the respect he gets from his peers is incredible. I mean, Big Daddy Kane called Busta's flow the best in hip-hop.
Wow, that's high praise.
Coming from a legend like Big Daddy Kane, that means something.
So what is it about Busta's flow that makes it so unique, so influential? What sets him apart?
It's that combination of complexity and energy. He's not afraid to use internal rhymes, slant rhymes, complex rhyme schemes that twist and turn in unexpected ways.
It's true.
And he delivers it all with this raw energy, this intensity that's infectious.
You can't help but move when you hear his music.
He's like a verbal acrobat, flipping words and syllables around with this incredible dexterity.
He's bending language to his will,
creating these sonic landscapes that are both chaotic and captivating.
So it's that combination of technical skill, creativity, and raw energy that makes Busta Rhymes such a force in hip-hop.
Without a doubt.
It's been an amazing journey, hasn't it?
It really has.
From those early days in New York to global stardom, Busta has never stopped pushing boundaries, evolving and inspiring.
Always pushing forward.
And he shows no signs of slowing down.
He's still got that fire.
So if you haven't already, I highly recommend checking out his music, exploring his videos, and experiencing the energy and artistry that have made him a legend.
You won't be disappointed.
All right, and on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of Busta Rhymes' incredible career and legacy.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep the music playing.
Backstories Podcast.